With a population of over 1 billion, China has become the world's largest consumer of red wine. According to PennDOT officials, there are 5 bridges in Center County that need immediate attention. Since May of last year, couples like Mitch and Randy have been coming to courthouses like this one, all across Pennsylvania, to get married, entering a bobblehead fox like this bobblehead here. Police officers are given extensive training on the use of tasers. State College police have arrested a Port Matilda man accused of trying to lure a child into a car. It's a new type of victimization, and because of that, the laws haven't caught up with the technology. All you need is a smartphone and social media, and you can take a photo and share it instantly. And if there's photos taken of you without you knowing and they wind up on the internet, they could have effects that last a lifetime. Situations like this happen more often than you might think. And police are still looking for a suspect who used a short change scam at the Benner Pike Walmart. It took police officers less than a minute to get from their station here to the State College High School South building, where a not-so-funny April Fool's Day prank caused a disruption early in the school day when a student texted her mom saying there was a shooter in the building. We'll introduce you to a couple who just last year walked through these doors to get married, find out why it was so special for them. Penn State's turf management program has a 100% job placement rate after graduation. Restaurants nationwide are beginning to do away with tips and instead paying their servers a yearly salary. But here at Baby's Diner, where tradition is everything and the past is king, they say they aren't changing a thing. Bridges like the one behind me are deteriorating because of age and wear and are being added to a long list of bridges in Pennsylvania that need to be repaired. PennDOT has released a report revealing that traffic deaths in 2014 have reached an all-time low. A Penn State fraternity is closing after allegations it violated policies and sanctions.
All I remember really is waking up the next morning and then like the next weekend having someone tell me that a picture of me was sent to the entire listserv of a frat. So, sorry. I didn't think I was going to get emotional.
The young woman I spoke with asked us to keep her identity hidden. She claims that during her freshman year at a fraternity house party, someone took photos of her while she was partially nude and unconscious and then distributed them on the frat's email service.
I think it happens probably a lot more than we think it does.
The Center County Women's Resource Center counseled more than 250 victims of sexual assault last year, some of them Penn State students. Ann Ard, the executive director, says most of them don't report the crime.
They really just want it all to go away. They want to forget that it ever happened. And so I think we really don't know the scope of sexual assaults on college campuses.
I just felt like there was nothing I can do about it. I just had to like push it aside and forget about it.
She told us she never reported what happened out of fear people would find out she was the one responsible for getting a fraternity in trouble. Experts say that fear and the other psychological effects of sexual assault can be long-lasting.
Guilt, embarrassment can affect self-esteem over time and put people at higher risk for developing other psychiatric conditions.
If I'm walking around campus, how many people could be like, oh, that's the girl I saw that picture of?
It's a new type of victimization, and because of that, the laws haven't caught up with the technology. All you need is a smartphone and social media, and you can take a photo and share it instantly. And if there's photos taken of you without you knowing and they wind up on the internet, they could have effects that last a lifetime. Situations like this happen more often than you might think. 68% of sexual assaults are not reported to police, according to RAINN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. The woman I spoke with says she still thinks about filing a report even today. But for now,
I think I would want them to like be able to recognize how uncomfortable they made someone in their own skin, and just want them to be able to look at it from like the perspective, like what if that was my sister, what if that was my mom? I'm just some person that they didn't really know that well, and I think that's why they thought it was funny or something they could do, but they didn't see the repercussions.
We contacted the national headquarters of the fraternity where this student claims she was photographed, as well as Penn State's IFC, the governing body of all fraternities on campus. Both said they had no knowledge or reports of the incident. For the Center County Report, I'm Samantha Lantz.
We've had churches in the area for years who wanted to marry us, but The state was saying no.
Mitch Ballas and his partner Randy Ammerman met 26 years ago. They own George's Flower Boutique in State College, making them business partners and life partners.
We basically have been married for so long anyway.
So the couple decided to make it official. Pennsylvania now allows same-sex marriage. The two got married and now enjoy the benefits that come with it. But in states that don't, same-sex couples face a number of potential challenges, including at the end of life.
If the family members of the deceased one were aggressive enough, they could come in and basically kick the other one out of the house, take possessions, bank accounts, and that has happened over and over again.
In addition, same-sex couples not able to marry have to pay taxes on inheritance money and can't collect their spouse's Social Security. Those opposing same-sex marriage think this is a states' rights issue. The United States Supreme Court is hearing arguments about that this week.
You can't put people's civil rights up for a vote. When you do that, you are creating an exemption to the Bill of Rights, which is supposed to be nationwide.
Since May of last year, couples like Mitch and Randy have been coming to courthouses like this one, all across Pennsylvania, to get married. Attitudes about same-sex marriage are changing rapidly, and the number of states that permit it is growing. Same-sex marriage is now permitted in 35 states and D.C., compared to just Massachusetts in 2012.
The younger generations this is becoming a non-issue for them. So we have noticed a huge difference in that area.
But not everyone agrees.
The Supreme Court says we're discarding the votes of millions of citizens in the 50 states who voted to define marriage as the union of a man and a woman. Yeah, that would redefine marriage in those states. It would be a travesty.
The court will decide on the 4 cases in front of them by July. That decision could call for some big changes.
It would finally level the playing field for everyone in this country.
For the Center County Report, I'm Samantha Lantz. Bridges like this one are deteriorating because of age and wear and are being added to a long list of Pennsylvania bridges that need repaired, a number of which are right here in Center County.
We have really put an emphasis on bridge repair in order to bring those SD numbers down.
SD, short for structurally deficient, refers to the rating given to bridges that fall below a 5 on the National Inspection Standard Scale. Pennsylvania has more than 4,000 structurally deficient bridges, the most in the country. Marla Fannin says numbers play an important role.
We've got more of them, first of all, than many states do. We've got freeze-thaw cycles, intense winter weather, those sorts of things.
According to PennDOT officials, there are 5 bridges in Center County that need immediate attention. Not included in that number are bridges like this one, owned by townships. Locally owned bridges that aren't up to par may take longer to repair than bridges owned by the state.
State bridges, since state owns them, they somewhat get priority.
McMath is Spring Township's manager. He says it could be as long as 12 years before work begins on this bridge, which has one of the lowest structural ratings in the county. And this bridge will have to wait in line behind others worse off.
The design work has to be done, the approvals have to be done, and funding has to be in place.
Act 89, Pennsylvania's comprehensive transportation funding plan, aims to help continue to make more bridges in our state safer. For the Center County Report, I'm Samantha Lantz.